Thanks for dropping in. This is The Natural Skate, a podcast about skateboarding in Arkansas. Joining me today is Jose and JJ. They're from Local Crew Outreach. Tell me about LC.
Hey man, well first of all we want to thank you for having us on. LC is actually about to have its 2-year mark next month in October.
Wow.
But we're a community outreach program that we're trying to give back not only to the skate and BMX extreme sports scene, but like the community overall. We're trying to show out like the communities that not all skaters are punk skate rats that just want to be destroying property and all that. In returns or in hopes that they provide us like with better skate facilities.
Yeah, that's a noble cause. I completely believe in what you're doing.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate it. Local Crew, something that we really try to look out for is just for the young community, by the community, for the community. The guys that we have on our team, myself, we grew up skating with each other, and our goal with this company is just, to be the best that we can to the community, especially with the events that we do, whether it's, for kids, for school, for individuals that basically need it. We just are happy to lend a hand with something that we enjoy the most, and which is skateboarding, while, also having other great members on our team from biking as well. We got some really talented guys, and I'm very, very, very happy to be part of like this community and this brand.
Yeah, it's awesome to see multiple sports come together and cooperate like that. I know some parks, really run off the BMXers and the roller skaters and all that. But I like to think that they can coexist.
Oh yeah, man. If we can have each other support, like each one of us support each other, we'll be able to have better facilities for all of us to be able to enjoy. Because if we kind of turn it against skaters versus bikers, skaters versus roller skaters, we're just gonna end up all losing and not benefiting in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Completely agree with Jose on that. As short as it is, the skate parks here, it's a niche community. There's you comparison to how many mountain biking culture there's here in Arkansas in comparison to skateboarding, BMXing. It's not up to the same substantial size. So we gotta stick together so we can make sure that we all benefit as a whole. Like Jose said, having better skate parks, better equipment, and it'll definitely happen if we're all hanging out together.
Yeah, definitely, because I know there's a lot of bike trails here in Central Arkansas and as well in Northwest Arkansas. So I like that Arkansas can be such a welcoming home for extreme sports.
Yeah, I think it's crazy how much money they've been able to put into all these mountain bike trails and all that. If we could just kind of encourage them to put a little bit in our direction of giving us some sweet skate parks. Whenever we talk to cities, we've been kind of talking to them about well, skateboarding's now on the Olympics. Like our skate parks are kind of outdated. Like we need, if you want to see some of these younger kids and some of these rad skaters, maybe someday not represent only the state of Arkansas, but like the country and the Olympics, you got to be able to give us some better facilities for them to be able to master their skills. Like for me personally, I think it'd be cool. Like imagine somebody from Arkansas being able to represent us at the Olympics for the United States, but take it a step further and say someone from Central Arkansas or somebody from Northwest Arkansas, a little bit closer to home, that's representing us. That would be awesome. And they can always be like, man, I was able to do this because the area I grew up in or the area I live in was able to provide me with quality stuff for me to master my skill with.
Yeah, right on. So just to let the audience know, your focus is in Northwest Arkansas, but also you guys are in Oklahoma and Missouri as well. Am I right about that?
And honestly, it kind of blew up on us. Like we never expected Local Crew to get as big as it already is in a short amount of time. But yeah, we've been invited to go do events, and we did one in Joplin, Missouri 2 months ago. We're partnering up with our friends from Death Row and doing one next month with them. We actually got a call yesterday to see if we could do something in Neosho, Missouri with them. Fortunately, we already kind of tied up that day, but we're going to be able to send them some some prizes. That way they can get some cool prizes away to the competitors. But yeah, even the Poto, Oklahoma called us about a month ago wanting us to see if we can run their yearly skateboarding event, because they believe the one they had last year was pretty pathetic, and that's their words. So they want to be able to do something better, and they heard about us and they want to bring us on. So it's just amazing how much people believe in us and are welcoming us to do stuff for them.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that you guys are making a big impact, and you guys have over 1,500 followers on Instagram. I mean, that's pretty impressive, because like you wouldn't think that there'd be such a big community of skateboarders here in Arkansas, but yeah, you guys are really doing it.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what we mentioned a little bit ago, that we have BMXers and we got roller skaters. We got everybody. Like we're trying to love on everybody and support them just being out there and doing what makes them happy, which is their extreme sport activity. But yeah, I was blown away whenever we reached 500 followers. I never imagined us having this many, and not only just skaters, but like we have high people following us, like mayors of cities and community programs. It's insane.
Yeah, I completely agree with Jose, and I think one of the main reasons why this is happening is because the community support. We wouldn't have this amount of a following that we have if it wasn't for the community itself.
Right.
Like we said earlier, for the locals, by the locals. Everybody coexists and tries to help out in so many ways. We try to help out, and then they want to help us back. We've gotten, for instance, some of the graphics we do, those are donated to us by phenomenal, talented artists, and they don't ask for a cent. And we do this as a nonprofit because we want to benefit the community, so we use that to just put it right out. So it basically becomes a cycle that everybody gets favored. Everybody gets. It's a win-win situation, basically.
Yeah, I love that, because like skateboarding is so grassroots, but yeah, we want like more attention from the city officials who can actually get the funding and stuff for parks, and I love that. What is your favorite skate park in Northwest Arkansas?
For me personally, a lot of people are gonna give me hate on this one, but it has to be Rogers. That's just kind of the park that I grew up in. A lot of people dislike it because it's metal, and I get it. But yeah. I personally enjoy skating flat bars and ledges, and I think they have one of the best ledges around. And it really comes down to it's where I grew up skating. You always have a special place in your heart for your home skate park.
Yeah, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, JJ?
It really depends. For me, perhaps one of my best outdoor ones. Even though I grew up, I love for Gentry Skate Park. I grew up skating Gentry. That's pretty much like my childhood skate park. But out of perhaps my favorite, I would probably say the Rogers or Bentonville Skate Park, because those were kind of like my second childhood parks. So it's hard for me to pick in between Rogers and Bentonville. I have to say both of them overall.
Yeah, I don't know much about Rogers, and I've definitely never skated Gentry, but
you're not missing anything out on Gentry.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it's not. Salem Springs is a great park, and it's right beside it.
Yeah, I mean, Gentry has a lot of potential, but the people that unfortunately built it, they didn't really know much about skate parks, so they have like big old cracks, bigger than like your traditional sidewalk cracks. So if you're trying to do a little line or something, you normally end up flying unless you got some massive size wheels. It has potential, but you just got to be like a local to actually enjoy it and appreciate it for what it is.
Absolutely, I agree with that. As I say, the person that built it was a local concrete man, a really nice guy. Actually, to give him some credit, he did a lot of research into this park project. However, there was some unfortunate kinks that happened along the way. The cracks, like Jose said, no filling, so they put it right beside the landing spots, like the ledges. There was a stair set, a 3-stair. You want to have some landing. They put another stair set in front of it. I think it's a 7 to 8 stair set. So hypothetically speaking, you have two people hitting that set at the same time. You're gonna have them crash because it's just they're right in front of each other. Even though this guy put some effort, there was definitely some So some kinks here and there.
Yeah, definitely. I actually lived in Fayetteville for a short while in 2018. So I spent a little bit of time at Walker. Never really got in with the locals very much because I was so busy. But I skated Bentonville a time or two as well, and it's such a cool looking park. I like the paint job they have and like the way it is, but it's a little bit hard to like adjust to if you don't skate there a lot, I think.
Yeah, the paint job actually is starting to fade off, so I think they need a new little touch up. I wish Bentonville was just a little bit more spread apart. Feels like it's really like jam packed. If they would have spread the obstacles out a little bit more, I think you would have less of an issue of like running into other skaters. And I think that's one of the complaints I hear from other riders is like it's just you get snaked a lot, and not on purpose. You know, another dude's trying to do his trick or his line, and it accidentally gets in your way.
And I agree with Jose because the reason being, this skate park, it's really interesting from other parks because other parks they have a certain wideness to it, but Bentonville skate park is straight vertical. Like the whole park is kind of spread out vertically.
Yeah. I think you guys cut out.
So what did you think about the favorite one?
Yeah, I liked skating it. Like I said, I didn't get to go as often as I wanted to. I think I could have gotten like better at, flowing through the park, but it kind of reminds me of Riverview in Little Rock. It's kind of some of the similar obstacles, and
I don't know if I've ever been to Riverview.
Is that pardon me, is that Canis or is that a different park?
It's a different park. It's kind of in North Little Rock area.
I've only been to Canis. I unfortunately never had to experience Riverside before. I want to try it out sometime.
It's a little bit smaller and a little bit more ghetto, I think.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it a metal park?
No, it's concrete.
Oh, okay. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Man, we should look it up sometime.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I'm actually surprised. I've only heard of Canis. I didn't even know there was another park.
Yeah, Riverview. It's close to the Dickie Stevens baseball park. It's kind of that area of town.
Man, I apologize. I've only been to Little Rock a handful of times.
Yeah,
My papers and that's about it.
Usually some kind of business related, not so much pleasure. But we wanna try to expand out a little bit more and try to start going south a little bit and hitting up some of that central Arkansas area. I've heard Conway has a pretty sweet skate park.
Man, not to mention Canis. Canis Park is great. Like that's such a big example of like what the Manpower skateboarding has. Like it's a DIY, like do it yourself, and those guys did it. They did. I think. Don't get me wrong on this. If I understand correctly, the newest portion that's new, that was made by the park, but the other part was initially made by the locals, right?
Yeah, it was a DIY park, and then Coca-Cola and some other people funded the new expansion to it.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Wow, Coca-Cola. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a big deal, but it's like smoother and more professionally done. So like if you're new to skateboarding, you can kind of learn on that side and then come over to the DIY and see how you can mess with that gnarly stuff.
Right. Yeah, that park's got a lot of different like size ramps and levels to it, man. It's so much fun. That bash they have every single year. It's incredible the amount of people and the amount of shredders you see there, man. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, people from all around Ohio and all over the country, really.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, another thing I was wondering, is there any power struggle, like a beef or a rivalry, between any of the towns up there in Northwest Arkansas?
Like between the skaters, I don't believe so. I think a lot of us are pretty welcoming. Like if someone shows up to our skate park, I feel like we're pretty friendly. I've never seen anybody be like, "Hey man, this is a locals only kind of skate park."
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. There's not necessarily any bad blood between the riders around here.
Right.
At least not that I personally noticed.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about everybody here. Everybody's very respectful with each other. I think as long as you know, at a skate park, you don't, try to get everyone at once, and try to, avoid being that person. Everybody's usually very, very cool and very welcoming. Even if you're like that person, we understand that. And of course, I'm not talking about beginner skateboarders. No, we're very welcoming of people that are starting to ride out. But as a whole, we have people from at the events all the time. We have people from Fayetteville come up to it, Joplin, Oklahoma, and we see no animosity at all. We see everybody just hanging out and having a good time. A good example of this was Gentry Park for the 4th of July event. It was a phenomenal time because we're not gonna lie, there was no. Did we expect a lot of people there?
No, not at all. I really thought it was going to be one of those. This is probably not the right wording for it, but like a throwaway event where we're gonna try it out, but we're not kind of really not hoping for much. But man, we were surprised by how many skaters showed up to go show people what skaters do best, and we were just surprised by how many people walked over to go see the show itself.
I apologize. I want to give a quick shout out as well to those that came out seriously because we had some of our riders there, but we were having to do constant demos. So it was a point where we were kind of like slowing down a little bit, and a lot of a good crew came out from Fayetteville to skate with us. Some other guys from Oklahoma and Rogers as well. And thank you guys so much for coming over and just showing these people that have perhaps never seen skateboarding before, seeing it for a first time and getting a good glimpse for these talented individuals.
Yeah, that is really awesome to hear. I know I've been to some smaller towns where it seems like the locals will it's like there's like 3 locals, but they'll kind of like puff their chest out and I'm like, what are you doing, man? This town is like a population of 100. Like
Well, back in the day, like I'm gonna say probably maybe 10 years ago, I was skating the Rogers skate park by myself one day, and this dude showed up, and he ended up taking his shirt off, and I noticed he had like a big old swastika tattoo on his chest, and I was like, well,
oh my gosh,
great, I'm gonna get in a fight eventually, but I just kept skating, and he was like, wow, man, you're pretty good, and like he never saw the color of my skin, and I think that's something that I love about skateboarding and skateboarders is that we don't really see. It's not just skin deep, we see that, hey, someone else is passionate about the same thing I am.
Yeah.
So, like he never felt unwelcome or there was never any beef. I never saw him again, I don't think, but it was just kind of one of those days that makes you kind of think like, man, skateboarding is its own world and its own culture.
Right, completely understandable. Just as people have their, their golf clubs, they have their bowling alleys, they have any other gyms. This is just like at home. When we want to relax and take a little time from the responsibilities that we have. We come up here and we all have a great time. We see each other. We skate. Really, just that skateboarding. We love the community as well, and that's definitely something that inspires us because being around these people. Around these places, it's phenomenal, man. It's really, I can't describe it very well because it brings me such joy.
Yeah, I love that because like a lot of people out in the world, if you're like a skateboarder looking dude, people will judge you, but like other skateboarders won't really. You can look however you want. You can be wearing a business suit and come to the skate park, and a lot of people are like, if you can rip, you can rip. It don't matter what you're wearing.
Exactly.
Right. That is true. You don't want to rip the suit, but yeah, that is true.
So, what do you guys expect out of Northwest Arkansas and LC in the coming years?
Well, I think our expectations with LC have already kind of surpassed anything we could have ever imagined. But our goal is just to kind of keep loving on our fellow skaters and riders all together, give back to our community. We did a petition a month or so ago to try to get some skate lights put up at the Rogers skate park because every other skate park around here has lights except for this one. Mm-hmm. And it seems like that's something that's probably going to be able to happen. And that made a good connection between us and the city officials, because I email back and forth with like the deputy director of the Parks and Rec, and she's keeping me updated with plans for the lights, and that they have a contractor coming out and looking at it. They have electricians coming out, but we just want to try to improve our skate parks, improve our scene altogether, and just try to give people something to be able to go do. Like, whenever I grew up skating, we had like an event a year, and it was like the 4th of July fest. But other than that, there wasn't really much going on. And I think it kind of caused people to get bored with the sport. So they ended up leaving it. So we're trying to change that by doing events at different skate parks and different locations, and getting them back excited about what they're passionate about.
Yeah, and the audience at home, like, if you can't tell, these guys are really doing stuff. You know, they're getting in contact with the local officials. They're doing giveaways. I just really can't stress enough that I really think Local Crew is doing a lot for the state, and especially Northwest Arkansas. And I, for one, think it's awesome.
I guess if you had to say something I like to see, or maybe a goal, I would like to see chapters of Local Crew. So they could be like, well, we are up here, you know, we could be the Local Crew chapter of Northwest Arkansas. But maybe one day we could do a chapter that's focused on Central Arkansas, and one that can focus on South Arkansas, and then even do some like in Oklahoma and Missouri. We've been amazed by the support that we gotten from our Oklahomies. Like, those are usually some of our big
for sure.
our big sponsors. Like, shout out to David Camden with Fog. We got Ghost Dog with Plug that hooks it up with stuff all the time. We're just blessed with all the support that we get, man. And it honestly started out with me and my wife. I just wanted to get back to my skate community, and we're like, hey, let's just do a cookout and go hang out with people at a skate park. And it turned into this huge event, and we're like, well, let's try it again next month, and they just kept going. Our last event we did at Rogers here, we provided like free haircuts for kids going back to school, like school age kids. Then we did over 30 plus haircuts we're giving away, and we collected over $500 worth of school supplies that we will donate to kids in need. So we're trying to get back not only to our fellow riders, but the community, so they can change the view that Hollywood has created for us. You know, we're not all punks trying to be out. They're rebellious and cause problems all the time. We just want a nice skate park. We want to be able to skate and just kind of leave us alone.
I agree with that. I say within that instance, it's incredible. For instance, Fayetteville, it's been perhaps almost 20 years since they just barely got lights now. And I'm saying it's great that they have lights now, but they have power, I believe, installed in each corner of that skate park. So there was the power was there. It was just the lights weren't put up yet. You had other facilities that had light, and we're not asking, for much in comparison to other facilities. We're just asking for proper lighting at these skate parks or these facilities. Not only these are good for skateboarders themselves, but also for the community as a whole, because a lot of things happen. It could happen at skate parks at nighttime if it's not properly lit up. I don't want to be specific of what I found the day after skating in Fayetteville. I don't want to go into what I found there, but if there were some lights there, I feel like some situations will not be able to happen. It will increase, just a better experience for everybody, from the core users of the park to, people that are trying to learn to skate, to ride bikes, etc.
Yeah, definitely this would disencourage vandalism, and like most of us don't really care if there's graffiti, but unfortunately the city doesn't see it the same way as we do. So yeah, we did disencourage vandalism of your skate park. I mean, take pride of it. If the city sees you take pride of your skate park, they're gonna be more willing to want to help you make it better, or if you need something, they're gonna go out of their way to help you.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe with this show, we can get every skate park in Arkansas lit up with lights. And
that would be awesome.
That'd be a dream.
And the thing is like, if we're able, us as local crew are able to help out. I mean, we're nonprofit, so we have our paperwork from the state. We're legit. If we're able to help a community with anything, feel free to reach out to us. It doesn't matter if you're Central Arkansas, South Arkansas. If we're able to make a phone call or maybe help start a petition to get lights put up at your skate park, reach out to us. We're working on it and we're learning as we go ourselves, but we can definitely give out some pointers or guide in the right direction.
And now it's time for a segment called Put the Poser in Its Place, where we share stories of all the local posers.
Poser.
Such a poser.
Man, I can't really think of one myself.
The closest one that I can think of is this one from Gentry, which is it was a while back. Gentry gets some interesting people because I personally the definition of a poster myself is I think it's someone that just is trying to disrupt everybody's time at a skate park in a really improper manner. And with this story, in short, we're all having a good time skating at Gentry locals when it had locals because unfortunately it's deserted now. But nonetheless, we were having a good time when all of a sudden one of these guys started chasing another one of the skaters that was there while he was with his girlfriend and just trying to cause conflict. With that guy, he tried to cause conflict with everybody else. The dude was chasing this guy in a full eight circle, and he trips over a trash can. And eventually, some really buff guy came up and talked to the guy and calmed him down, thankfully. But I think those type of people are what I would perhaps describe as poser. Someone that just tries to have such an inflated ego at a park like that, and just trying to disrupt it from everybody else, man.
Yeah. So I've got a viewer submission story. It's from Wedge Wadley, who's from the Bryant area. He says, I got me a poser story. So let me paint the picture. This girl who's a bit grimy with bright red hair at my school carries around a skateboard every day. I've never seen her ride it, but she talks mad junk about it. One day I saw her set the board down with both hands, stand on it, and push. He proceeds to roll for about 1.5 feet and faceplant. I felt so bad, but poser's gonna pose. I think we've all seen people who like come to school and dress the part and then like place the board down with both hands and kind of like never learn how to do anything. It's kind of like for show. I don't know if you have any up there at your park that come to mind, but I have several that I've seen around that just come for a while and then eventually just quit because they never make any progress.
I mean, you get some of those here and there in our neck of the woods, but I guess I never really paid much attention to them. Like they want to show progression and they just keep coming to the park and such. We try to encourage them and maybe give them some pointers here and there, but nothing that I'm like, oh man, that guy's obnoxious, poser, needs to be kind of thing.
Yeah, with a girl like, I think as long as that girl that's at the school, like she's not as long as she's not being negative and like she's still trying at the end of the day, you gotta give her props that she's learning. In my opinion, anybody that is humble enough to say like, I'm learning, I'm new, and they push, and even they don't have to try their best as long as they say like I'm new. But if you're like someone that like really hasn't stepped on it much and comes up to someone that's doing a trick and they're like, wow, you suck, you need this, you need that, when you really don't know how to do that trick. I think that perhaps would be the maybe a defining line, but it's all about the fun at the end of the day. It's really having to encourage everybody.
I mean, you can't blame posers for posing. I mean, skaters we're pretty cool, so you can't blame them for wanting to be us.
I'm cool.
Not you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on, man, gotta be honest here for a minute.
If you have a poser story worth sharing, DM us on Instagram at the.natural.skate. Or send us a voice message on anchor.fm/thenaturalskate. Remember to refrain from using anybody's full name, as this is not meant to be a platform for bullying.
Our next one is gonna be Sunday, September 19th at the Fort Smith Skate Park at 3 p.m. We got some pretty sweet sponsors on this one. We got S Footwear sending us some product. We got a shop out of California called Cal 7 sending us like 3 completes to give away. Of course, we got a bunch of the locals like Fog, Stash Skate Supply. Man, the list goes on. And we've been blessed with all the sponsors we normally get, but this probably is gonna be one of the good ones. You definitely don't want to miss out if you're able to make the drive.
It's a great following, that's for sure. Please be there for me. I have to work that day, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sounds like one that if you're able to come, that's one you don't want to miss. I mean, Fort Smith has an awesome park, and it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff to give away and a lot of sponsors.
When it comes down to our events, we try to change it up a little bit than your traditional jam competition. I'm not huge on jam competitions personally. We normally just do one a year, which is our annual Spooky Dookie jam. But we do different games. Like, we'll do your traditional best trick, game of skate, and all that. But we want the prizes to be able to go out to people that are just starting out and your intermediate skaters, your beginner skaters. Doesn't seem right for like the best skater all around to just walk home with seven brand new boards. So we do games that like kids can participate. So we'll do like a 12 and under, and we'll do something that we know they all can do. And so we'll do like a race or we'll do like a hippie jump. Right. So if you don't think that you're that great of a skater, just come out, hang out, and you never know. You might take a prize home with you. And we usually end up doing a product toss anyway. So
yeah, please come out. We want to see more people at the parks. And I understand you guys are raising money for a 100 skateboard giveaway. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. We are trying to raise $2,000 to be able to buy 100 skateboards and show up to skate parks and just give them out. Like, I don't care if you have a brand new skateboard or your skateboard 6 months old. If you're at that skate park when we show up, we're gonna toss a board your way. We actually got a couple local businesses from Northwest Arkansas that are helping us out. We have Levi's Lawn Care that gave us $120. We got Centerline Tattoo Shop that gave us $200. We got Java Dudes in Rogers. They tossed $100 our way. We got a homie from Joplin, Self-Made, that sent $100 our way. So we're slowly getting up there. We're about a quarter of the way, close to $500. But yeah, any small donation helps out. $1, $5. We got a GoFundMe on our Instagram, or we can take donations on Cash App and Venmo too, since they don't have any kind of fees like GoFundMe does. But yeah, the goal is just to get 100 skateboards and get them out to skaters.
That's awesome. That's a great goal. Do you guys have any last remarks? Anything you want to add before we go?
Man, no, I just want to thank you for having us and letting us talk to you and helping spread out the word of Local Crew out there to everybody. And if anybody ever needs anything, feel free to reach out. We're here for the skaters, by the skaters.
For the community, and we're very happy to be, a part of you guys' community as a whole. Thank you guys. And please, any sort of skill level, whether you're one of the best or if you're somebody that wants to start out and just wants to have a good time, please come through to our events. We're very happy to have you. It's a good time overall. And thank you for giving us, the time to talk about Local Crew and everybody else that supported us so much, man.
Yeah, and how can people find you?
And they can find us on Facebook. We're under Local Crew.
Or MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. But we're definitely Facebook. The biggest following we currently have is Instagram. And on Instagram, we're Local Crew Outreach. But those are the two main ways to be able to reach to us. And I try my best to reply to messages as soon as I can, unless I'm at work. When I'm at work, I work a 24-hour shift, so if I don't respond to you as quickly, it's usually because I'm either on some kind of call or something like that. But don't lose hope on me, or if you haven't heard back from us, just send me another message like, hey man,
This man saves lives and decisive. This is this other day.
Oh wow! So he saves lives and then also gives away boards. So he's just a all-around great man.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I would go this far. This guy has gone so far out of his way, him and his wife, to be the best other kin of this community. If you allow me to add, I just want to say that there's been a period of time where we haven't had a lot of events lately here in this community, unfortunately. And if it wasn't for Jose, Chastity, and the local crew, that we wouldn't have a lot of these great events and moments for people to have like they used to back in the day. Because there's been a lack of events. So, just as a fellow crew member here, I want to say thank you, Jose, for what you guys have done for the community.
What we
Thank
done.
you, Jose.
It's not just me, guys. It's a team effort. I can't do it by myself. I'm very happy and blessed with the guys that decided to help us out and trying to just love on people and show them the passion of what skateboarding is.
Well, I would like to thank you, Jose and JJ, for coming on the show. This has been the second episode of The Natural Skate, and that's all I've got.
All right, Lance, we appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you hear that?
Yeah.